So this other day, I was in Coachella, and this girl, she just came at me saying I look like a cute cholo. I didn't know how to react, so I just said thanks.
Wait, save that for the stuff.
Hey, chill. My girl might see this.
Bro, what are you?
You're calling yourself out.
Hey. Just telling the story, you know. Just
This one.
Do I need to do anything or?
No, the comments are gonna pop up. There's a little window, like a little.
A little gray.
Yeah, a little gray window. So there'll be people commenting. Hopefully.
so y'all donate.
Does it tell you how many people are live?
I think on the same window it'll say like 0 at the top
0.
when it starts. It'll tell you.
But it says you're live already.
I know, but here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, coach.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, coach.
All right. I'm so nervous, bro.
We don't need no felines here, cause we straight up dogs. That's why they call it the dog pound here. Put me in, coach.
All right, we're gonna have to cut it short.
Oh shit.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, stop.
We
Hey,
meant
hey.
dogs like us, not like you. You know.
You start talking about dogs. These dogs are crazy. Like, who's here? What dogs? What dogs you talking about? So, welcome to the Coachella recap. Suki, come here.
Suki.
Give him a little snack.
Emily Foster said, "How are y'all not sick?"
Oh, I've been dead, bro.
I've been pretty good.
So all day. No, I've been one. Oh my god. So I went to work on Monday on 2 hours of sleep. Like I got home like at 3, went to bed like at 4, then woke up at 6 to go to work after like a 3-day weekend of walking like 30 miles, and the dust on Sunday killed me, man.
Really?
Like, well, I didn't have my bandana for a few hours, you know. My boy took my bag.
Well, bro, you left me the bag with like the camera. Bro, you literally left me at the Coachella like structure at the tower, at the colorful tower, and like I was doing an interview. I was like, you passed me. I was like, yo, bro, like, you know, you're gonna stick around. He was like, nah, man, I'm just gonna do my own thing. And you just left, bro. So I like, I didn't know you had a bandana in there. Honestly, I didn't, you know, false communication.
Nah, but it was I wanted to just chill at the beer garden. I was too tired, bro. Like Sunday, I walked like 12 miles for no reason.
No reason.
Like I felt like I was just going from place to place to place to place, and now like just chilling. And then it was the sixth day of being a South Festival, so I was just burned out. And I saw you were interviewing somebody, so I didn't want to interrupt you. I even got some B-roll of you, and then I was like, he's
Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly, the person I was interviewing. She's from Chicago.
Chicago, nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like, we met people from all over, bro.
All over the UK. One of your fans. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Lewis.
Shout out to Lewis. Hope you're doing okay. Honestly, man, that guy's wild. But you know, he's like one of the first international fans that came up to you, or how many international fans came up to you?
International fans. So I had someone from France. I had people from El Salvador, Argentina. No, not Argentina was last year. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, from Argentina."
Wow.
I had people from all over the U.S. You know, Chicago, New York. But that's dope. Like I just make videos for people to come have a good time at the best festival in the world, and then they appreciate it. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, man. No, like it was crazy. I think this year in Coachella, especially, like I think this year we really capitalized on trying to, you know, get more people involved with the videos, because obviously people know you. Like, oh yeah, man, like I'm the Coachella man, I'm the Coachella guy, like the guy that you go to. But I think we really did a good job just showcasing and like talking to people and showcasing, you know, people like, hey, like, you know, there's other tips, there's other perspectives that other people have on the festival outside of just like, you know, your experience, because some of these people, they come from all over the world, right? So their travel advice might be different from yours, you know what I mean? Especially Lewis. I remember when we were asking him like, hey, like how was the travel situation? He was taking like Greyhounds, and you know, he was kicking in with people like
shuttles from LAX to here, trying to get a Airbnb or camping. Yeah, it's a process, you know, especially the further you come from, there's more time that you have to do, probably more money too the further
Yeah.
you come from. Nah, but it was cool. And then we met someone from New Zealand, or no, from Australia.
Australia.
At the Espacio, they were waving the flag, and we're like, hey, let's get you in the vlog.
Shout out to the Aussies.
And then the people that were, oh man, like when we watched the Bad Bunny thing on Friday, that was crazy.
Man.
Like Bad Bunny was right there, bro.
So let's circle it
All right,
back. Let's
go to the beginning. So, first of all, Brian, thank you for coming on the podcast. And number 2, how was your first Coachella? Just like, what were your thoughts before the festival, and then now that you experienced the whole weekend, like, did it live up to your expectations? Was it more challenging? Was it cooler? Was it like, what was your overall?
So honestly, man, leading up to the festival, I was like, am I gonna be able to, survive Coachella? Like, am I gonna be okay dealing with the heat? Am I okay? Am I gonna find my car? Am I gonna be okay, like, in regards to, how much money I'm gonna be spending in regards to inside the festival? Like, just kind of thinking about like logistics like that. But pretty much, I mean, the festival was everything that I expected it to be. As well as, like, man, like, it was just a huge culture shock for me, really, because, like, I've never been around so many, like, humans, like, in one area, like, so many people. Like, I was just, like, in the Sahara tent, and, like, man, like, I've never been around, like, so many people in one singular spot, and just, like, being around, like, all these people from different backgrounds and talking to them, just having this, like, mutual experience of, like, just bonding over, like, this one artist, or, just having this commonality that, the festival brings together. I think that was cool. It was cool, like, just meeting cool people like that, dancing with people as well. Like, man, I had my fair share of moments of dancing with cool people, as well, in the Yuma tent, in the Sahara tent, in the Dulab.
Despacio.
Yeah.
You guys should see this fool and not be in a Coachella. Like, this fool dances crazy to every time we throw a show.
Oh, man.
Because we do our own events now and stuff. So at all the Desert Undergrounds, like, Brian's always in the front dancing to all the DJs.
Hey, but that's when I leave, the camera to somebody else. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm Brian be filming, so I do the filming first, and then we dance after the job is done. So we never mix both.
And yeah, bro, like, everything you said about the culture shock and just the amount of people, that's the energy that I love about Coachella. Just like, I mean, not just Coachella, just any music festivals.
Right.
It gives you, like, motivation, and you feed off that. People just there to have a good time with music. We're all there for, like, different acts too. Like, there's some people that are there watching someone else in another stage watching somebody else, and everyone's having, like, their own experience. Like, no one person, no two people have the same experience, even though we're all at the same place.
I don't know, like, shout out to Alfredo, but Alfredo, one of our, like, good friends, literally spent not the entire, but the majority of his time in the Yuma tent. I'm like, bro, how do you do that? Like, how do you, like, not leave the Yuma tent? I mean, it is AC. It is, like, a tent that has, like, AC inside. But it's just like, man, to just be in one single spot, like, the whole time. I don't know, man. To me, it's just, like, it sounds cool. Like, it's cool to, like, listen to that kind of, like, music, that tech house music, all that DJ music. But, like, to be there for, like,
10 hours.
Nah, man.
There's people that back in the day, the Sahara tent used to be only EDM.
Really?
No hip hop. It was smaller too. Do you know, like, the size of the Mojave?
Yeah.
The third stage. So it was kind of like that, just a little bit longer.
Right.
And it was EDM all day, and then people would just camp there for 12 hours. Like,
oh man,
DJ, and then you wait.
They
for
had
next
to be
DJ,
Europeans, bro. They had to be Europeans.
It was super sick. It was like some of the best times. That's what people miss about the Sahara. And I think 2015, 16, they started adding hip hop to it.
Right.
And then I think it was in 2017 or 18 they made it into that big Sahara. They moved it.
Right.
It's because the festival expanded. They added 25,000 more people.
So why is the stage has the Sahara always been, like, the stage of the Sahara, has it always been in the middle?
Yeah. Since they added the new format. So that
Right.
the whole section, that was brand new. I don't remember, either 17 or 18. So the way it is there, or maybe 19. And before that, it was a smaller stage. And now they added hip-hop. Now they added international artists. And now it's like, One thing I heard is people. I think Coachella doesn't want people just staying in one spot. Like they kind of want people to walk around, travel, see all the art pieces, and I mean, there's a lot of sponsors too that pay for these attractions. The Heineken House, like that's already grandfathered in, but like Heineken has to pay a fee to just even be there. You know, like sponsor that stage. Adidas. They had Coke, Adidas, Google Pixels thing, Absolute Vodka had
American Express.
Yeah, there's a lot of sponsor things. So it's in best interest of the festival to get you walking around, create content, take pictures with different things. But the festival is so big, like you don't even get a chance to explore everything, especially if you're going for the music. But there's people that go there for just to be there. There's people that go there to take pictures, create content. But I love to go there for the music. So I try not to go and explore all the things as much so I could watch like more artists. But yeah, it was just overwhelming. So
yeah, no, like there's so much to do because I found myself the first day just like lost. I was like, well, I'm going to just go to the Sahara tent. Literally the first thing that I did when I walked in, went to the Sahara tent. I was like, oh, there's some cool DJ playing right now. Like nobody big.
Who was playing?
At the time, I think I walked in around, I believe it was 4:00. So 4 p.m. on Friday at the Sahara was... Awkward silence. Vintage culture. That was around 5 actually. I walked in there and then all of a sudden like I recognized somebody like right next to me. You know, he had like a little goatee, you know, he had some curly hair. And I was like, dude, like this guy looks familiar. Like, and I had my GoPro with me. I was like, oh, like I look at him, like I kind of like look at his like side profile and I look at him, I'm like, that's Chewy. Yo, Chewy, what's up, bro? And then he turns around and he like acknowledges like, you know, what I just called him. And it was literally like this influencer guy that I was like, I've been following since I was like in middle school, bro. Like he was like an old school Viner. I mean, he does like Mexican relatable content, you know what I mean? Like the whole mom thing. With the trapo like on his head.
That's him.
That's him. Yeah, bro.
I've seen the videos.
Yeah, bro. That's him. So that's I ran into him like literally the first thing I do, like
just run into somebody.
I just running into him. He was in Coachella like the whole like weekend too, but it was just cool like just to have that experience.
Yeah, there's like, so many people that are probably there. So Chicharito was at Coachella this weekend.
Really?
He posted a picture I think yesterday, and he had just like a green face mask, but like. You don't know who the hell's walking next to you. Could be Chicharito, could be a famous person, could be whoever.
Not even just famous people, but also like
Jeff Bezos was like a
yeah. Jeff Bezos was there. Like, who knows, man? Like, probably I don't know. Like
everybody's there.
Yeah, fucking Kylian Mbappe might have been there. Like, kind of like what he did with on New Year's with him and Hakimi when they recovered. Like, you know what I mean?
You never know. Yeah, just get away for the weekend and enjoy some of the best music. So you came in on Friday at 5, and then how was like the parking situation for you?
The parking situation for me that first day, it wasn't hard because you had mentioned to me about taking like a specific path. I followed it, and then all of a sudden, I just went in. The parking situation getting in was easy. The hardest part was actually finding my car afterwards because I had left. I forgot who. It was Bad Bunny that closed the first day, and my phone had died. And me and the homie Mills, we were, you know, I offered to give him a ride, and then all of a sudden, like both of our phones were dead. And you had told me always make sure you pinpoint like wherever you parked, but my phone was dead.
Damn.
So we were literally like looking for my car, and bro, I was just like, tired. I wasn't thinking, like I forgot where I left my car, so we were literally on this whole Scooby-Doo mission trying to find the missing car. But luckily I was able to retrace my steps because the whole day I was vlogging on the GoPro, so I literally had to go back looking at the GoPro, looking for like clues of like where I parked, looking for like a specific tower with the number. Eventually we ended up finding it, but it literally it was like a whole.
So you found your car because you looked at the footage in the GoPro.
I was vlogging. I was vlogging the whole time, like where I parked. Like
that's so sick.
Like just the little details. Like when I got to the festival, I was like, oh, this is how the parking situation looks, you know. And I was like vlogging going in, vlogging like scanning the bracelet, like just the little details of like what it's like to
Actually
like be in there and in the process of like getting into the festival. And but yeah, it literally took that whole process of looking back and retracing my steps to the camera. So I'm glad I was able to vlog. I mean,
that's so sick.
when in doubt, vlogging saves your life if you have a camera.
Unless you gotta record everything, right?
Yeah.
You gotta document your life.
Yeah.
Who else you ended up watching on Friday? So you watched the set at the Sahara. Then what? Because I saw you were hanging out with Alfredo for a little bit, no?
Yeah, we went to the Yuma for a little bit.
Of course.
We went to the Yuma
for 3 hours.
We saw Idris Elba.
Oh, you saw Idris Elba? That's
Yeah.
sick. How was that?
It was cool, man.
Was it packed?
Yeah, it wasn't too packed when we got in because it was a little bit early. But once we started like being there for a good hour and a half, it started really getting packed. Like the line got like super long, dude. It was just like, it was terrible. Yeah, and then I saw like two artists around that time. So it was Idris Elba, or it might have just been him. Nah, it might have just been him because, yeah, I didn't stay there for too long. After that, I went to the Gobi to see the garden, and just stayed there for a little bit, like 30 minutes. Went to go get some food, recharge, and I think we met in time to see two friends at the Sahara.
Yeah, so that's when I walked in. I got there maybe like at 6:37, and we went to see Blondie. We went to the Mojave. So Blondie was playing. We got to see a couple songs. I was like, she didn't even have freaking blonde hair anymore. She was gray. I told Adam yesterday in the other podcast. But yeah, so if you're watching this, I have another podcast recap with my homie Adam. And I'm going to be doing different interviews. So if you're watching this, there'll be different interviews, different people that went to Coachella, because we all had different experiences. And I think that's what it's all about. So I went to see Blondie. And then I was like, hey, meet me on the right side of Sahara. And then you're like, oh, I'm already here. I'm wearing a Neymar jersey. You're wearing I'm wearing a Brazil yellow jersey. And I'm like, fuck, let's see if I can find this fool. We walk in, it took me like 2 minutes, and I just see you with the fucking yellow jersey. So it was me and JT. We pulled up. I forgot who was, no one was playing at the time, right? Or someone was ending because two friends, I don't know who was playing Sahara, but like it was like towards the end of the set.
It was Jamie Jones. I was actually at the Sahara. No, I wasn't. I was lying when I said that I saw Idris Elba for like an hour and a half. I actually saw, ¿cómo se llama? MK, and he's actually Brazilian. So I saw
at the Yuma.
I saw, yeah, he played at 6:05, but he's Brazilian. So I was there with a Brazilian crowd wearing a Brazilian like Neymar jersey, and bro, I had like people, like actual Brazilians, thinking I was like Brazilian because of the jersey. They're like, "Arriba Brazil," like, you know, like in their language. I was like, "Orale," like, you know, I didn't know what to say, so I was just playing it like "Arriba Brazil," you know, just playing the part. But I just thought it was so cool.
That's so sick. Couldn't have planned it any better.
Yeah, no, and I was just there. I mean, he was a cool DJ. I did end up seeing Idris Elba for a little bit, but I mainly just stayed at the Sahara area just because like Yuma was, you know, it was too much.
It's cool, but it's just too much of the same.
That's like, what I think. It's enclosed, you know what I mean? It's enclosed. I'm like, I need some fresh air, but I just stayed at the Sahara for MK, and then for Jamie Jones, who was playing the Kendrick song. He made like this badass like Kendrick remix. And then that's when we saw each other for two friends. So yeah.
Yeah, and then we camped out. Because we got to the front of the Sahara to the right side. Yeah. Then I was like, all right, let's squeeze a little bit in. Now that people left, and then two friends started, and then two friends had like the spaceship. I had never heard of them, to be honest. Like,
me neither.
But they had a good set, bro. Like they were getting down, and then we were in the front, so everything, like people around us were like moshing, and it was pretty cool.
Dude, the way that
said two friends was amazing.
Two Friends was amazing.
Hell yeah, that shows.
Two Friends with like that whole introduction, the way that they started it, like with the spaceship, and I was like, yo, I would be surprised if they made it look like it was floating.
You're the one that said it.
I was like, dude, like, come on, it's a spaceship. It has to like do, like, if it flies, I'm gonna like lose my shit. And it, like, they raised it up. And I was like, dude, like, let's go. And then like whenever they used the pyro, like with the fire, like you actually
would feel
felt the heat.
Oh my God, I know.
Dude.
It was so hot that day too, and like we were just surrounded by people because everyone wanted to be in the front for Metro Boomin. So, man, that was we were there for like what, almost 3-4 hours by the time.
3 hours, yeah.
We were just camping out the Sahara. Yeah, Two Friends was dope. Like they were just playing a bunch of like sick remixes, and I liked their show. And then when they went up and they did the laser show, I was like, oh fuck, that shit's dope. But yeah, so who?
Josh Hicks said, I was in the merch line for all of Two Friends and the whole line was vibing, lol.
Wow.
Hell yeah, they got down. We got some footage of them, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I have all kinds of videos still too. Yeah,
the real vibe or the real action happened once Metro Boomin started. After Two Friends, like kind of like they warmed us up. But then once like Metro Boomin like was coming on, like nah, bro, people lost their shit. Like everybody just rushed into the it was just packed.
As soon as it started, The Weeknd came out on the first song, and it's like, oh shit! And I didn't even know. I just found out he's the biggest streamed artist in the world. Like he's #1. He has 100 million listeners on Spotify. #2 has 70 million. He has 30 million more listeners on Spotify than second place. Like this was like, wow. I didn't even know he was that big, bro. I was
didn't
like,
know
what
either.
the fuck? And to be honest, I became a fan of The Weeknd. Just like he's so good, bro. I was like, damn, every song was just so dope. And again, feeding off the energy of everyone singing with you and around you, and it's just like, and then the bass was bassing. Someone said on one of my comments,
the bass was bassing.
The bass was bassing,
bro. You felt that in your bones,
it was vibrating like crazy, and then the fire, and then like. They had like trumpets and they had like fucking like live instruments. Like that set was
they had
insane,
performers, man. They had
Metro Boomin's that shit won me over.
Honestly, man, I could see that producers playing often at like festivals because, you know, they have like so many artists that they work with, and obviously like with festivals, it's kind of hard for artists to commit like a singular artist to kind of like cultivate like an act or like create like a set.
So
but
it's happened before. We've had Pharrell playing, and he brings a bunch of guests. I guess Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in 2012. He's kind of like a producer. He brought out 50 Cent, Eminem, Wiz Khalifa, Kendrick, you know. Then Metro doing this. So the homie Calvin's like, hey, Metro could come back and headline one year. He had 80,000 people watching the set.
Really?
So that's how he posted in a story that the report came out. 80,000 people were watching him just tear it in the set.
That's crazy, man.
And I guess they track through when everyone's using the app to check the times, they track your location. So that's how they're able to tell where the people are actually at.
I thought it was through the bracelet, like, too. Maybe
through a bracelet, too. But someone told me it was through the app. So they're able to tell, like, which artists actually had more people, and they were able to, like, move stuff around. 80,000 people, because I think Gorillaz ended, and there was, like, a gap in between Bad Bunny. So everybody just went to see Metro. Yeah. And Metro just had all the people. So it started with The Weeknd, and then when Future came out, the moshpits started, and like I lost you guys. I couldn't get back to you guys, bro, because I was like right there, and then like I literally got pulled back with the people. Yeah, like people went forward. I don't know. Like I was trying to grab JT's backpack.
So we were recording. So mind you, as we were like watching the show, like I had like we were recording with the $6,000 like cinema camera, like just recording the performance, the ambience of the show, and then all of a sudden, you know, the mosh pits happened and we get separated, and Angel had passed me this expensive camera, and I was like, fuck, like no, like and like people are jumping, mind you, and it's like hard to like even just move. It's hard to even just breathe, you know what I mean? Just because like everybody's just like so tight knit to each other. So I'm just like, man, I'm just holding this camera on dear life because everybody's jumping around me. And I was like, man, like I'm just trying to survive at this point. I was in survival mode. But yeah, man, that set was crazy. As soon as Future performed, like Mask Off and Superhero, man, I couldn't even hear myself. Because everybody was just like singing to, bro. Future just killed it. I like The Weeknd, but to me, I feel like Future killed it.
Yeah, Future.
It's Future. Come on, bro. It's Future.
It's Future. Let's clip that shit.
Future.
Did they come, or how do you want me to do that?
The what?
Like all the comments.
Is there any? Well, you can read them off every couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how you wanted me to do that.
What have they been saying?
Let's see. Did you see Gorilla's weekend too?
I didn't.
I didn't.
No, we were camping out from Metro Boomin. So I watched Gorillas Weekend 1, but not Weekend 2.
Watch the highlights.
I know I think he brought up Bad Bunny, I heard, but
Yeah, he said he thinks that he had the best set of the weekend.
Gorillas?
For weekend 2.
Really?
I bet it looks so cool.
There
It's
was
just
better weekend 2 than weekend 1.
yeah. I had to go see Metro, bro. Like Metro fucking blew me away. Like
Streezy Boy said, Metro. So much exclamation point.
Metro.
Chris Hatch said, just my opinion, Blackpink and Dominic Fike had the best sets of the weekend. And I had never heard of Dominic Fike before. It was amazing.
oh nice.
That's
I saw
respect.
like 2-3 songs of him. We were waiting by the food court when I told you
Yeah.
to wait. I was watching him a little bit. I didn't really know his music like that either. Yeah, there's a lot of different sets. But yeah, so we watched Metro, boom, crazy, and then I don't know. I think I was able to get to you guys like later in the show. Like got more
Yeah.
like it turned down a little bit. Like so I was just crazy, and then I was like, hey, the show's gonna end in 15 minutes. We're gonna get stuck. I was like, let's start going to Bad Bunny because it's gonna take forever. So
Yeah.
we started like walking out. So we're still listening to music, but just walking around the Sahara. And then we got to Bad Bunny like 5 minutes before he started. And I was like, hey, let's go to in front of the soundboard because I love that spot in front of the soundboard because last year Karol G performed. And it was just so cool, like, because you actually see them performing and then you just get to see the screens and you're in the center. So you actually see the show, like,
Right.
really, unless you're camping on the front. You know, I think it's a good spot. And that's a good spot because all the producers and shit are there. So that's where they get to see the whole show. So I'm like, if these ones are here, you got to be where they're at. Like,
Right.
they know that's a good spot. So anyway, then we pulled up to that area and there's like a little stage with like a little fireplace and chairs and microphones. I'm like, oh, this is where he did the thing last week with Post Malone. So I was like, let's just stay right here. And then we were right there in the edge. And as the show was going on, then they kind of like let people jump over the fence on like it was weird.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like they let people like kind of like flood like the area a little
Where he was
bit.
gonna
Like
perform.
yeah, where he was gonna be performing. I guess like just to fill in the crowd a little bit more. I obviously that was done intentionally, but like
and that opened up our space to get to the fence.
yeah, it opened up
Because
the, like,
everyone was trying to jump over, and then by the time we realized this, I don't know what was going on. We looked to the left, people are like jumping. I'm like, what the fuck? So me and Brian, I'm like, hey, let's go. And then we
let's
grabbed
go.
the fence.
We grabbed the fence like just to like not get caught in the wave of people. So we just like, dude, this he's gonna do something here because there's already like some sort of set in place. So he's gonna be performing for like the main stage, and then something's gonna happen. I don't know how he's gonna do it, and like he's gonna be performing here. So we are like in a good spot. But honestly, man, we get there and I'm just like, you know, he starts like this badass introduction with all this pyro, like, you know, with all these like cool like short film, like an introduction, documentary style, like kind of like, oh yeah, like Benito vino aquí como like 2000 like what, like 27 was it 19 or 17? 2019. He's like, yeah, and then all of a sudden he comes like as this big megastar, like headliner, and I was just like waiting. Like every 10 minutes, I was just like peeking over my shoulder, like, when is he gonna come? When is he gonna come? Because we were like literally right there, and
well, then we saw the old man coming in, Feliciano.
Yeah.
They brought him in a wheelchair. We're like, who is that? We're like, we didn't know who it was, and then they had to like literally pick him up and put him on the stage because he was literally in a wheelchair, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't know who that is, but like I know Bad Bunny's gonna be coming right now. And then like I think we're watching like him getting like put like with the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny was playing a song. I don't remember which song. And then I look back, and then I'm like, oh shit, he's floating towards us. And
I was like, wait, this dude's on a palm tree. What the hell? Like, he's literally floating on top of the crowd on this palm tree, just cantando. I'm like, what the hell, bro?
and he lands right where we were.
He lands exactly in front of us, and he's like giving our backs to us. And the only thing that's like separating us from him is literally a whole like one row of like security guards. And I look at Angel, I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like, like, give me the camera, bro. Give me the camera. I was like, dude, like, this is gold right here.
That was one of the best moments. And this whole performance won me over. Except, I think being that close and, like, just having that interaction was super sick. But, like, the whole show of Bad Bunny was so much, like, just so many different vibes and moments. he started, playing, performing some of his hits. He brought out Jay Cortez. He brought out
Grupo Frontera, bro.
Frontera, bro.
Dude, that was a moment in itself, man, because like that
they dropped that song on Monday.
Yeah.
And then they perform it on Friday, like 5 days later. And it's like the #1 song in Latin America right now. Like, that's perfect promo. And Grupo Frontera, bro, like, those dudes blew up in the last, like, year and a half. Like, they're such a new group. The lead singer is 19 years old. The fool that was singing. He's 19, bro. Already performed at the main stage with Bad Bunny, bro.
That's crazy, man.
And they have 3 songs that have over 100 million views on YouTube. Like, That No Se Va, Bebe Dame, and... I don't know if 911 has it, but this one with Bad Bunny is definitely going to hit over 100 million.
Oh, for sure, man. The one thing I got to give Bad Bunny credit for is, like, how fast he changed. Because remember how he, like, started in a black hoodie?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, he changed into, like, the outfit that he did with Grupo Frontera.
And then he did, like, a more of an urban outfit.
Yeah. Like, he changed into, like,
a bunch of different sets. And, then he had, like, So, then, he floated down. He performed acoustic. Couple songs, and then
he rode in a jet ski in the middle of a crowd.
So then he did the jet skis with Jay Cortez and the other side. So he was kind of far away from us, and then we were still just in shock, just like he ran across from us and shit. And then he came back. He runs this way, like right in front of our face to the end. And then I don't know if you saw the video. He hugged some girl that was pregnant or something, and like I don't know how he found out. I don't know what happened, but he like ran to this girl, hugged her. And then he ran back to us, and then I swear, bro, like I make eye contact with that fool because I put on my GoPro. I put the GoPro like right in his fucking face, and then we made eye contact, and then he dabbed my GoPro.
Yeah, like, bro. He looked at both of the cameras, man. I saw both of the footage. It was crazy.
I lost my shit, and then like
yo,
it was just so surreal, bro. Like
4K, bro. 4K, bro.
That fool got caught in 4K with a cinema camera.
4K. Someone said said, did you guys have a press pass to bring in the nice cameras, or they don't care if anyone takes pro cameras?
That's a good question.
So you're not allowed to take a professional camera. Anything that has a detachable lens, you can't take. That's like a rule.
Yeah.
But weekend 1, we took it for the 2 days. My friend, we just detached the lens. So the body of the camera, he would put it in one bag, and then I would take the lens in another bag. We go through different security lines. But to be honest, security this year was the easiest,
they did not
bro.
care, man.
And now weekend 2, I got hooked up with the media pass. Like, somebody hooked me up with the media pass, and so I could take it in my camera. And they never asked me anything, bro. They never even asked for a media pass. Like, they were like, "Oh, what's up, cameraman? Go walk in." I'm like, all right. They could call me cameraman. So I was just walking around with my camera. No one told me shit, and then we were just like vlogging and shit. So it was so
not
cool.
only that, but I also saw other people with their cameras as well, like all kinds of people with, like, their Canons and their Sonys.
If you go early, try to go the earlier you go, the security is more chill because it's not as much people, and the supervisors aren't there.
Yeah,
supervisors start showing up when it's really crowded because they gotta be more.
They have
secure.
to be. They have
so
to.
It's like when you're at work and your supervisor's not there, that you're slacking a little bit. So it's just like the same shit. Security guards, they're just there to get some money, bro. They don't really care about, like, there's some that take their job too serious, but we don't want to.
Also, too, like, I feel like the security might be a little more strict on weekend 1 just because of the celebrities, and they're trying to keep the festival a little more, a little more tidy. Weekend 2 is more like a weekend for the locals, I would say. So,
bro, it was so packed weekend 2 compared to weekend 1. It's like there's like an extra like 30,000 people weekend 2.
Yeah,
it's crazy. They just don't stop selling tickets. The people were still buying tickets. That the will call ran out of tickets. They ran out of bracelets. They ran out of wristbands at will call, and they had to give them some medical thing, or like some generic ass wristband at the end on Sunday, because they ran out, because they were just selling like. And I have a theory that weekend 1, not as much people, a good experience for the celebrities. You get the vlogs, they post all the content. Then weekend 2, it's like whoever fucking shows up. And how can someone regulate whether they're selling 125,000 or 130,000? Like, how can they tell there's an extra 10,000? It's no one's fucking checking or counting. So I feel like that's my theory, and they just sell as many people want to come, because every person that's gonna make it in is gonna buy merch, is gonna buy alcohol, is gonna buy food, is gonna spend money there. So I don't know. That's just my theory.
Yeah. You might have a point there. Honestly, I just realized that weekend 2 just has a lot of more locals. Like, that's where like the majority of all the locals go to.
Yeah,
and plus, like, it wasn't that windy. I mean, you had a little bit of breeze,
It was a pretty nice weekend.
But it was a good weekend.
It was a hot weekend, but it was dry. And I think once you get over like the sun coming down, it's just perfect because like it's not too hot. It's not enough.
Just hydrating, man. That's the way to like the key to surviving like the heat. Going like for me, going to the Dulab and being sprayed by like those dudes that yeah, man. So that was a hack. Like the homie Alfredo, he took me to the Dulab. He's like, bro, you're gonna love the Dulab. I was like, take me to the Dulab. We went there. He's like, yeah, dude, like you see those guys that are like spraying water at people. It was like spraying like hose, like with a hose. If you ask them like to spray you with like water like to your face, they'll do it. That's literally the first thing I said. Like, say less. And so like I gave like the camera, the GoPro to the homie Alfredo. I literally like I walk up like to the front of the crowd and I look at the dude like straight in the eye like, hey dude, do me. And he's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, come on, do it for the vlog. And he like just hoses me down, bro. Just like dude. I literally felt like so refreshed because dude, it was like 5 in the morning, like it was like 5 p.m. scorching hot, like triple digits, man. Best feeling ever, man. Best feeling ever.
Just getting hosed down.
Yeah, bro.
So anyway, so
yeah. Your camera, I think, died.
Which one?
Yours, on you.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Already?
It's not on. What?
Is the camera? Is it not being charged?
All right, Brian Entertainer.
Brian, entertain our
Yeah.
live viewers.
So yeah, I was just being hosted.
44%. It's good.
4%?
Yeah,
44%.
we're good now. Go ahead.
Oh, they probably got moved. The HDMI cable probably got moved. But yeah, I just
Someone asked, do you have a favorite year you went to Coachella?
Me?
yeah.
Yeah, you.
I only been with one, bro. So like this one for you.
You're the one.
I have it's so hard. It's so hard.
No. I have a question to add to the question. So, how does this year's Coachella compare to the rest that you've been
That's
to?
a good question.
Damn, I'll answer both questions. So first, my favorite Coachella.
It
So
has to be the Kanye one, bro. It has to be 2011.
I have two favorite Coachellas, almost 3.
So
So my first Coachella that I actually went to 3 days was 2011. So I was I had just turned 18. My the tickets went on sale like in the middle of January and they didn't sell out quick.
yeah.
Or I think the week of my birthday, the tickets dropped. It was really close to my 18th birthday, and I had gone the previous 2 years like one day only. So all I wanted for my 18th birthday, I just wanted Coachella pass, and they were only like $250 back then. 250 or maybe 300.
The good days.
Yeah, it was cheaper back then. So 2011 was the first year that they made it mandatory 3 days. So before you could actually buy single day passes in 2010, 9, all those years.
Going out again.
What the hell?
I think it's the cable, man.
No, it turns off.
Oh, is
Let me
it?
just change the battery. I have more battery. Oh, it's because it's open.
Oh, you have to close it.
Let me just change it. Just keep talking.
You have to close it. Yeah, no, I remember 2011. That's when Kanye was headlining, I believe, and Angel will fill in the story a little bit more, but Angel was camping out that whole Coachella just to see Kanye because he was headlining, and I believe that's when he dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So this dude was literally camping out the whole day, just waiting for Kanye at the main stage. And bro, like how was that experience, man? Like camping out just to see like Kanye. Obviously Kanye, like it was cool to see him, but you were literally up front the whole time.
2011 was your favorite?
Yeah. So it's 2011.
It's not good.
What?
It's still black.
It's gotta be the cable then.
It has to be the cable.
It's too heavy.
It's probably like
Is it too hot?
has to be a connection.
Anyway, you guys want to say hi to Angel Tiz?
Shout out to Angel Tiz. I don't know what's going on with the connection. Hopefully it works now. So Coachella 2011 was my favorite year because it was like the year that like I said, it was like my first time going 3 days.
Yeah.
And it was Kings of Leon on Friday, Arcade Fire on Saturday, and Kanye West on Sunday. Those were the 3 headliners. So on Saturday, it was one of my favorite Coachella. Probably my favorite Coachella, like a top 5 Coachella moment, was Arcade Fire, bro. And I only knew a few songs. I knew Wake Up and like The Suburbs or something. And I was just there watching it. I was just like, okay, cool. I gotta watch the headliner my first time. And well, Friday was cool with Kings of Leon stuff. Maybe I'm getting days wrong. I don't remember, but right there. It's who was Friday?
I don't know, my glasses on. The headliner was Kings of Leon.
No, Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday was Kings of Leon, Saturday was Arcade Fire, and Sunday was Kanye West. So,
The Strokes are both actually big on this.
The Strokes was on Sunday. So the Strokes played right before Kanye. They were the one right before Kanye.
Dang,
but
cool.
Friday, we got there. It was my sister and my brother. We explored the festival. We got in the Ferris wheel. We got to see Kings of Leon, and I think Caifanes played that year, or maybe that's 2012. I don't remember. But anyway, Saturday was like the moment that was just like, wow, this is insane. So when we walked in on Friday, there was a crate, just a black crate on top of the main stage of Coachella. And everyone's like, why the fuck is there a crate? Like, what's going to happen? Like, it was just, the technology wasn't as good as today. So right now they could conceal all these crazy stages,
Yeah.
And the stage, you know how the stage for the outdoor theater was?
Right.
That was the size of the main stage at Coachella. So it was way smaller.
Right.
Technology wasn't as good. So you just see this black crate all weekend, all day. Everyone's like, "Why is that a crate?" Like,
yeah, just curious.
No one knew what it was. Then we're watching Arcade Fire at the end. They were closing it out, and maybe like one of the last songs, they played "Wake Up," which is like the song that I knew then, like the more famous song, and they were playing it. And as soon as the chorus hit, the black crate opened up and they just dropped a bunch of like giant balls like this big, like giant like inflatable balls that just fell into the crowd. Like,
wow.
I just have to adjust. And like, like we didn't even see it because we were watching the show, and then we're like, what the fuck? And then boom, everything started hitting, and we were just hitting the balloons back and forth. Everyone just like singing, and then the balloons started lighting up. They were lighting up, and I think they were blue and red at first, through finishing that song, and everyone was like, wow, that's crazy. And then like, you just see on the screen, like, it's just a sea of balloons, people just hitting it back and forth and stuff. And then the next, I think they played 2 or 3 songs after, the balloons were like changing colors to the beat while the performance was happening, dude. And like, bro, I was just blown away. And I got some of it on a camcorder. That was my first Coachella video, Coachella 2011. So that shit's like one of my favorite moments. And then Sunday, I was with my friend Derek, and we're like, let's just go on the main stage, because it was Wiz Khalifa was at 3 p.m. Right. We wanted to see Wiz because that's also the time, like my senior year in high school, Wiz Khalifa, fucking rolling papers and all that shit. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like Wiz Khalifa was the shit in like 2011. So I want to see him. He was 3 p.m. on the main stage, and we saw him. And then I was with my friend Derek, and I'm like, let's just stay here for Kanye, bro. Like, I don't really know the other artists. We're already at the front because we were really in the front for Wiz Khalifa. So we were like literally holding a little bit to the right, not really centered, more right to right, but we were holding the freaking barricade. And we just stayed there for 10 hours, bro.
10 hours?
Fighting for our lives. It was like 100 degrees. I had like 3, I didn't have a camel pack at the time, but I put like 3 water bottles. So we watched Wiz Khalifa, Jack's Mannequin, which Jack's Mannequin broke up and they're like a new band, or they separated.
Right.
Damn, who else was there? I don't remember the rest, but I just remember that the Strokes were right before Kanye, and a lot of people like in the front that were just for the Strokes. So as soon as the Strokes ended, we were literally helping people jump over the fence. Like me and Derek, and we were playing football at the time, so we were in good condition. So like girls just couldn't breathe. Like even before the Strokes, like people were just like, "Hey, could you help us like toss people over the fence?" And we were just handing them to security. Like we were just tossing girls and guys and everything. That's kind of cool. Because it was just so hot, bro. Like people couldn't take it. Like how we were for Metro Women, where you can't move. That's how we were the whole time. Wow. And like when the Strokes were about to start, like people were pushing, bro, to the front, and we were literally like, I had to hold on to the fence, and like me and Derek were like literally like, we were rocking back and forth because the people were shoving all the way in. It was kind of a nightmare situation.
Staying
and
firm.
It's so stupid because we looked back and maybe like 10 feet behind us, there was like a lot of room. Like,
what?
Like, it was only like at the fence where people were like fighting. So, anyway, yeah, so we watched the Strokes, and then my friend Julie, she literally made her way, and then she's like, what the fuck, Julie? And then like she was with us for the Strokes. And as soon as the Strokes ended, she's like, oh, could you guys toss me over? And then we just tossed her over and shit. And then we watched Kanye. But to be honest, he did a 3-act set. So like he came off the gate with Dark Fantasy. Okay. And he didn't come from the stage. He came from the back. He came on like a forklift or some shit. Like a little like, yeah, it was like a little elevator thing. And he played, could we get much higher?
Yeah.
Well, like it was crazy. And then my brother had a camera, so he recorded some of it. He was somewhere, I don't know where he was. And I didn't have a phone at the time. No, I did have a phone. It was an Android Moment. It was like the first phone that had like internet back in 2011. Like, but that shit sucked for like pictures and videos. So I didn't take anything. So it was he did Act 1, then he went to change Act 2, and then Act 3 was when he wore like the red suit, and he did Runway with the thing, and he brought Pusha T.
Oh, that's sick.
And then like he had like a crazy background. He had ballerinas. Like it was just a sick show. And then I like Kanye back then. You know, it was like he had just dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It was following that. And it was like him coming back to mainstream after being kind of canceled for the Taylor Swift shit. Yeah. So it was like him like returning. And it was the first year that they actually streamed on YouTube. That was the year that YouTube and Coachella did the partnership. Mm-hmm. So that made Coachella's brand fucking elevate. Because now they were able to stream. Yeah. And then Kanye, just the biggest festival and shit. So that performance was crazy. And then I became such a huge fan that I seen that fool perform 9 times, like nine different concerts.
After that, like after
Coachella, the next 10 years, I went to like 9 Kanye concerts because
my favorite. Said I paid $700 resale for Kanye 2011.
Oh,
wow.
Fuck.
That's a lot back then.
That was a lot.
And it was only one weekend, so only 100,000 people were able to go. So 2012, they made it 2 weekends because now they were able to double the revenue, double the people that could come to the festival. The demand was so high, so. So yeah, 2011. That's why and then by the time the show ended, bro, like once it was over, me and this would just lay down. We were fucking in pain, bro. And then oh my god, then we had to walk, cause my brother got dropped off. I don't know what happened, and we didn't have a fucking ride, so we were walking. We walked through the Blue Path after being there for 10 hours. Then we had to walk to 52, and we got picked up on 52 by like the cemetery, 52 in Jackson. Yeah. So it was like, fuck, it was just weird. And I have a picture. I was wearing a LeBron Miami shirt. I have a picture, like me and Dario just like on the side of the road, like just fucking tapped, like just sunburned and fucking tapped out. But yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
Just sore.
And Reese's.
Wonder Tweak said, by any chance did you get to see Duran Duran that year?
Yeah, it was in the same stage. So that's why we stayed. Because it was Jackson Mannequin, Wiz Khalifa, Duran Duran.
The show.
It was like.
You have really good memory.
Well, it's because I didn't take. I was sober the whole time. Not that I'm not sober at the Coachellas, but I was 18. I was literally training like for football and shit. So I was like in good shape to just fucking everything. And yeah, we were just there. So it was Duran Duran. I think Death from Above 1975 was also 79, something like that. Is it on there?
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah, they were also on the main stage, and then there was one more artist I didn't remember. But anyway, yeah, so we were there for like 10 hours. Duran Duran was boring. I'm not gonna lie, bro. They were kind of like, they played like the Hungry Like a Wolf. It was cool. Then they played like the other little famous songs, and then the rest, like I didn't know them, and it was just too poppy and too, just to me, them, I don't know their music. You
didn't resonate with the music at that time.
If you were a fan or you liked it, they were cool. But yeah, that was my Coachella 2011, and that's why it's my favorite. And then over years, there's been a lot of good ones. There's been some bad ones.
Someone was shouting out 2015 and 2018.
2015 with AC/DC and Drake. Was it 2014? 2014 was probably my worst Coachella experience.
Why was that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Why was that, Angel? Come on, you mentioned it. You might as well explain it.
So, yeah. Word of advice: never drink Four Loko before going to the festival.
Oh, man.
So man,
Word of advice, never drink 2.
Never drink 2 Four Lokos before going on Sunday. So I had like terrible fucking like the worst headache of my life. So I was super dehydrated. Drank some Four Lokos before going in, because I'm like, oh, I'm not buying shit inside, so let me get fucked up right now. So we were like pre-game and shit, and then by the time I walked in, you know, by like 5, 6 p.m. when it was like super hot,
Yeah.
my head was killing me, bro. So I couldn't watch Kid Cudi. Like we were watching it from far away, but my head, I was in such pain. And then Arcade Fire had just came back to headline, and I couldn't enjoy the show. Like the band that I fucking fell in love with in 2011. So that's one of my biggest regrets, because I got too drunk. Like it's such a stupid. That's why I don't drink inside. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna drink. I'd rather be hydrated and enjoy the music because I had those bad experiences. I still drink a little bit, but you know, 2014 was just because I couldn't enjoy the music.
Right.
2022, I had so much fun. I don't want to say this year because it's such a recency bias. I have to kind of let it marinate. But 2022, I had such a good time, bro. Like, watching Nathaniel Cano last year was like, fuck, like, seeing corridos with, like, that bass. And then, like, that's when I fell in love with the genre like crazy. Because I never experienced that shit in high production. Nata was super sick. Big Sean's set was super sick. Big Sean had more people than Harry Styles last year at the Sahara. He was playing at the same time.
I think it was the first year you got recognized, like, so much, too.
Last year?
Mm-hmm. That was your biggest year so far.
Well, it was the first one after COVID, you know?
Yeah.
2019 was super sick too, though. I had so much fun. We were with my.
You love every year.
I love every year, but 2011 just because, you know, my first one that memory, and 2022 I liked so much of the music. Grupo Firme, we watched Grupo Firme, Nata, Big Sean. I even watched some of Harry Styles after Big Sean, and that shit was fun. Like I just ran into the field, and like it was just fun music. People were dancing. There was like groups of friends doing dance choreographies. There was like couples singing like love songs, and like it was just a fun moment. And then literally like I was there for like 20 minutes. He brought a Lizzo.
Yeah.
And then I made my way to the outdoor theater because my friend Tom Nash, he actually had a podcast called Can't Feel the Heat, which is he was talking about Coachella. He interviews people about Coachella and stuff. And he's like, hey, come meet me at the
outdoor theater.
King Lizard and the Lizard Wizard. That's the name of the artist. King Lizard and the Lizard Wizard, something like that. And it was like this like melting your face rock music with like crazy like those like 70s visuals. Yeah. And it was not dudes with dreads and like a bunch of other people like just fucking like just
rocking out.
Just rocking out, but like cool, like fucking psychedelic, like rock music. And I was just tripping, bro. I was like, I just went from Big Sean, like super like hits and popular, boom, Harry Styles, pop music, and then King Lizard and the Wizard, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then I met Mills at the, anyway, but yeah, so
can we go back to Brian's question?
Yeah, shit, man, you just went on a tangent, man. Like,
well, you asked me about my favorite moments. I just want to relive those moments. Okay, so compare.
Okay, so someone else said, what was the worst lineup organizational wise? Mine was last year, weekend one.
Ooh.
So tie that into answering his question.
Yeah, like how did this Coachella just in general, like weekend one and two, stack up against like the previous ones?
The previous ones. So this year was super smooth. I think the parking was a little terrible weekend two. It was just terrible weekend two. It took me 4 hours to park on Sunday, bro. I left my house at 2. I didn't get to the festival on Sunday till like 6, bro. It was just like wasted time. And it's my fault for not going early because I knew it was gonna be packed. So if you go to Coachella next year, you guys gotta get there early because you could go in early and just like rest. Go in early and go sit down inside one of those like shaded areas. You know, you don't have to go fucking party. But yeah, I learned my lesson. So 2022 was like there wasn't enough water. There wasn't like the bathroom situation was bad. Ooh. Parking was bad because it was the first year after 2 years.
Right.
That COVID. I mean, it shut down the festival for 2 years, and then Golden Voice actually let go a bunch of employees, so they hired new people. And then last year was the first time that Golden Voice took over the Empire Polo Fields, which the polo company who used to run the whole thing, and then I think they just were too tired of management. Imagine keep the upkeep on that much grass and that much, you know, millions of dollars of water and
the
turf.
Water.
So, you know, they were like, you know what, Golden Voice, you guys could take it over. So that's why they started doing the MLS games and doing more events, the power trips coming up. So last year, with 2 years of COVID.
Last year was my worst year.
2 years of COVID and 2 years of no festival. So like the logistics were a little bit off.
It was off just because it was under new management.
It was just
people,
too many variables. So yeah, it wasn't the best. I had a great time because I love them. I liked the music more last year because I knew more artists.
Right.
This year was just that production just insane, out of this world.
One thing I will say about 2022, is that although I wasn't there, I feel like it was the birth of Coachella introducing more Spanish acts. Like now, think about it, bro. Like we had Bad Bunny headlining and opening up Coachella. Like
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like I think 2022 was like the first Coachella where like you just now see like this
A lot of Latinos,
lot
international
of
crowd.
like Becky G, you know what I mean? Like now
Yeah,
she's performing.
That's what someone I saw something about like, so 2018 at least for Mexican artists there's been more, but
Right. But you're not you've never really seen like
Mexican
that many.
artists there wasn't never
Yeah.
Spanish artists, like not that many. 2018 was Los Angeles Azules, and then like Cuco and a couple others. 2019 was Los Tucanes de Tijuana.
I
Tucanes.
feel
De
like that's when
Tijuana.
it really started.
Los Tucanes, and then 2022. Then it was a 2-year break. Last year was Grupo Firme, Grupo Firme, Banda MS, Nathaniel Cano, and then other Latinos. Carol G. Fuck, who else played last year? I don't remember, but anyway, like maybe 4 or 5 big names.
Yeah.
This year there was Becky G, but she brought out the biggest Mexican artists. She brought Peso Pluma. She brought Marca MP, Fuerza Regida. Then she did like Selena tribute. Then you had Bad Bunny. You had Eladio Carrion, Rosalia, Bratti, Conexión Divina. You know, like I don't know, like it was just so much.
Danny
like
Lux.
Danny Lux. He brought out Cuco too this year. I didn't see it, but he
I
brought
didn't see
Cuco.
him either.
Someone has a question.
So it's just so much. I feel like that's dope. And I think next year, I think Peso Pluma's coming. So someone told me he was having a meeting with Paul Tillett. They were sitting down at a table talking.
That's crazy,
So
man.
Peso Pluma's coming to Coachella next year. That's gonna be fire.
Prediction?
We'll get into predictions later.
Someone wants to know why were there so many old men trying to buy wristbands really late, like at 11 p.m.
Oh,
You
like
saw them?
when we were leaving the festival, remember how there was people like
They're like wristbands.
Oh yeah. So it's resellers.
yeah.
So these foods, like, I mean, if you're not coming on Sunday and this guy's buying it from you, like, oh, here, 100, whatever you pay. And then that for the next day selling it because everybody's looking for a Sunday wristband because everyone wanted to see Blink 182. And then the Skrillex, like, that got a lot of people excited. So it's a business. So these people, they buy, because you can't, some people don't go all 3 days.
Yeah, some people don't.
Some people just go Sunday. Some people just go Friday. Some people buy the ticket. They just go Friday and they sell it for Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that just go the first 2 days and they don't want to go Sunday. It's kind of, you know. So I guess it's like a little hustle. They just try to buy it off you so they could resell it online for more money.
But like, how do they get like? I've heard from somebody that you just like take off the wristband like just like that, like you don't like tighten it to the point where it's like.
Well, you could slip out your hand.
You slip it out your hand, but like, what do they do with it? Like, do they match it to somebody's hand or like, how do they like get it to open it up?
Force it.
You have to force it out, or you could cut it, and if you cut it, you have to like sew it back or do something to keep it back. Because back in the day, you could actually twist it. It was a trick, like you twist it and then you pull it, and then like it loosens it. But they fixed that shit. They're smart. And before there wasn't even a chip, but before it was like you just had to show it, so people were able to like make fake ones,
Right.
Or it was easier to sneak people in because you could actually drive into like the blue parking lot.
Yeah.
Without a bracelet, you park there. Someone picking up trash and shit will get you in, you know, like 50 bucks. Back in the day, or you could sneak in through the bushes and shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like super secure. Yeah, it's just like a little side hustle.
It's a little hustle too. I actually saw some people get caught when I was coming in on the third day. Some people actually got caught by like security, like with the fake, like with the pass that wasn't registered.
I saw people getting kicked out at the Yuma. We were in the, on Sunday. We were going in the Yuma, and then they were like, "Oh, wristband," and then two people didn't have it, and the security just squirted them out.
Wow.
And they got caught up at the Yuma. That shit sucked.
Yeah.
And then there were some people that were like part of the like, oh fuck, we saw a couple of people that didn't have it, and they saw the security, and they jumped the fence into VIP, and they just ran because they knew they were gonna get caught up once they got to the front. So they just fucking booked it. But yeah, you still, huh? This one?
Mm-hmm.
It's died again?
It's out again, yeah.
It's probably too hot.
It either might be too hot or it's just probably the cable.
All right, so who did you watch on Saturday? Who you watching Saturday?
So on Saturday, who I watched was Saturday. I came in probably around the same time. I remember seeing. Who did I see?
The terrible type of camera stuff.
I went. Da, 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 da. I came around 5, and I saw Clooney at the Do Lab.
Oh, you saw Clooney?
Yeah,
George Clooney.
I saw Clooney. I didn't see Rosalia. I think I was at the Yuma, watching Jan Blomsky. Jan B. I'm not even pronounce his name. I didn't see Rosalia for that one, and Saturday, man, who performed?
You saw Yeji with us at the end. You caught up with us for Yeji.
I saw
Diljit.
Carrion, Eladio Carrion at 8. Before I saw who was it? Diljit?
You saw Yeji and Diljit.
What time did Diljit play?
He played at 6:50.
Really?
Yeah.
He played that early?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Saturday I had the time of my life listening to Diljit. I really did. No. Like, it was the first time listening to like that kind of music. It was like a Angel put it to me like, oh dude, you gotta listen to this guy. He's like the Drake of India. Really, like, it was like this guy. He was like this guy from some artist from India, but like that kind of music. He had like 12 dancers with him with all these different instruments, and I just like the whole production aspect and the whole like performance. Just listening to his set, man. I didn't know any of his songs, but I just like, man, it was just so cool. It was just so upbeat, just going into the Sahara, just dancing. I actually went in, Alex and Angel, I'm talking about Diljit. When we went to the Sahara, that's who I saw on Saturday. But yeah, Angel, Diljit, like I had said that, like, you had mentioned that he was like the Drake of India, because supposedly he's like this hot #1 artist in India.
Superstar, and he's a Bollywood actor too.
Oh, he's an actor.
So he's like a superstar. I was reading the comments, just like like the shit we do with like our favorite artists.
Yeah.
And like people were just saying like, damn, Coachella's lucky. I never heard of Coachella, but I'm watching it because the GOAT's playing.
Everybody, like, as soon as we left like Diljit, everybody went to fucking the Sahara, man. Everybody was like, oh, what is this? Like all this, like all this
music from all over the world.
Music, yeah, like, and it was like the first ever cultural like music, like listening. Obviously, like, we're Hispanic.
He wasn't even speaking one English word. He was just talking to everybody like in whatever language he was speaking, like
Punjabi or Hindi or whatever, whatever language that he natively speaks. But honestly, it was just like, man, like going in, like I was with Angel and like I was like, bro, like I get, you already know me, man. I was like, I gotta get in the trenches, and so I went in deep into the trenches, and then I started dancing with people, and then like this whole crowd of like all these like obviously it's their music, so all these foreigners, they're like dancing because it's like they're like being represented and whatnot, and I'm just dancing in the crowd with them. And they like look at me and they're like, my brother, like, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm just like dancing, and I actually have live footage. Like I had the GoPro with me, and dude, like I was just dancing with all these like international people, and man, like they took me in as like I was one of their own, and I made friends with them. No, I'm serious. They're like, oh yeah, we love you, we thank you for your energy, and I'm like, dude, like
that's just crazy.
Like,
I recorded you because we were by the soundboard.
Yeah,
because I was just chilling on the soundboard, and then the security guards, like these were just like vibing. They were dancing. I caught this fool like just dancing, and then I was like, oh cool, like let me record a little bit, because I was just like resting against the fence. And then I see you in your red backpack just dancing, and I'm like, and I started following you and shit, and then I lost you. Then I went to get you, but that's when you like took off. I ran to a fence.
I felt the music, I felt the beat, I had to be one with Diljit. But honestly, man,
His
like,
was dope.
but honestly, man, like,
All the dancers he had on stage.
dude,
I know,
12 dancers, right? Like something like that.
I don't know. It was a lot. It
But
was sick. It just looks
The
so sick.
instruments, like, that's what opened my eyes about like going to Coachella, is just being able to see like something that you normally, like, obviously, like, don't get me wrong, seeing all these like hot artists, you know, from over the years is cool, but seeing something like a hot Bollywood actor, you know, artist from India, like, when am I ever gonna see that? You know,
Exactly.
I'm never gonna be able, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to see that unless if I'm into that. But honestly, like, just because like Coachella has that experience, has that artist there, it gave me that experience to kind of like listening to that kind of like genre of music. Like,
Yeah, it's really cool.
that was the coolest.
And just like just different people, because Blackpink too, the same thing. Like,
right.
first Korean artist to headline. Got their whole fan, like a younger fan base, and their performance was insane as well. We'll get into Blackpink a little bit later, but so after that we split up because we ended up going somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And then
Went to see Yeji.
we went to see Yeji at the Gobi. I caught the last 3 songs. The Rain Girl, Make It, Rain Girl, Make It,
Yeah.
Make It, Rain Girl. That shit was cool.
That was the best part.
Oh, and then we were watching Eladio Carrion. We met
No, he was there for Rain Girl.
Yeah.
You were there for Rain Girl too?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that shit was cool. Then we met up right away then.
He found us.
I found you
somehow.
guys.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna be on the right side of the Gobi, and then you found us, and then we stayed there. We camped out for Eladio Carrion, because last week or weekend one I wasn't able to watch him because I went to see the Tale of Us at the Sahara.
Yeah.
So Eladio Carrion, we got to the front, and then like that shit was dope, bro. Like, it was like was it you or you? Like, he sounds a lot like Bad Bunny. Was that?
It was me. It was me. It was like, yo, like, because you had mentioned something. You was like, oh, bro, like Bad Bunny might come out, you know, like, you know, because they're both Puerto Rican. I'm
He
like,
has a song with them. His most famous song, Coco Chanel, and then he has a song with Future, bro. He's got a song with 50 Cent. He's got a song with like every Lil Wayne.
yeah.
He just dropped an album this year. Now I got put on by my homie Adan and homie Brian, and give them credit, but
Shout out to
I
them.
wish I would have seen them now weekend one with them, because those two are super fun.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. Shit.
Right.
Let there be light now.
Let there be light.
So yeah, Eladio Carrion. Oh, and we met up with Mills and his homies, and then we were just like chilling right there.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like singing every song, and like that shit was hype as hell. So we caught Eladio Carrion, and then he brought Anuel. I tried to upload that video, and it got blocked.
flagged?
It got blocked.
Oh.
So they're trying to protect it, but I have a video of that. But whatever, we'll show in the documentary. And yeah, so if you're watching this, we're gonna be making a whole recap of Coachella, like a big vlog, maybe documentary style. All the interviews that we got over the 2 weekends.
And then
Just everything. So
after
stay
that, I think we like split. Like, we had like some downtime because like we were watching. We actually visited the Indio market that day. After Eladio
Carrion, yeah, because we were gonna go camp out for Eric Prydz and the Hollow Show.
That Hollow Show was crazy, man.
Nah, but it was.
I'm gonna be honest. You know me, man. I spent more time actually dancing at that set than I actually did watching the actual hologram show. I had a good time. It just, that whole crowd, man. That whole set, man. Everybody was just having a good time, man. Everybody there was just having a good time. I actually met like this. You were there. You were there, bro. Like you had this like fan to come up to you. You look like this like Hollywood actor, man, that like from Project X, like Miles Teller or something like that. No, he did, bro. He did.
Shout out to the homie.
Shout out to the homie. And then like I was around like this like married couple that just happened to be married like 3 days.
Yeah, so they got married. They were supposed to get married, and COVID's happened. So they were married, and then they were like, oh, and then they just celebrating at Coachella. They were just like barely married.
Yeah, they were from Wisconsin. They were cool people, like, but man, like it just opened up my eyes, like, wow, like, you know, the fact that like people are just so friendly. But that whole show, that whole set actually was just such a good time, and I was just vibing out. And
dude, like when he came out with the hand and the phone in your face,
the hand and the phone,
that shit looked crazy, bro. And then I like the one he did, like when he was like spraying with like the gas, and then it turned into like a show with all the other like the fools were dancing and shit. I was like, what the fuck? That show was mind blowing. Except I was so into the show because my plan was I'm gonna be there, watch like the first 30, 40 minutes, and then go see Labyrinth at the Mojave. And then Alex had texted me. I didn't see the text till like way late because we were in the middle.
Service.
We were right in the front. And by the time I checked my time, I was like, oh shit, Labyrinth already started. Yeah, and then we were such in the front of the outdoor theater, and there was like, so many people because they really want to see that. By the time I made it to Labyrinth, I literally just watched the last song, and then it ended. And he brought Zendaya. He brought out who else? I don't know. Sia. Can't see it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I fucking missed the Labyrinth show. But I mean, it sucks. Like there's FOMO and shit you miss, but it's like just enjoy whatever you could enjoy. Just have fun. And then I literally walked there, and then I was so fucking thirsty. I'm like, there's no refill stations next to me, but there was a dude that was like, I think they were selling lemonades, but they were just closing down. Yeah. Like they already had taken all the shit down. And I just talked to this dude, and I was like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, you got an extra water or whatever? He gave me a water. And I was just talking to him. He's like, yeah, I work other festivals. First time working Coachella. And then I was just talking to this fool, and there's like a mob of people. And then I realized, oh, shit, if I don't leave now to go to Speaker B3, because that's where our meetup spot. Yeah. So we could watch Calvin Harris. And, it was Calvin Harris. We watched a little bit of Blackpink before we went to the Eric Prydz. Yeah. So
You saw Blackpink last week.
I saw more of Blackpink last week. But, so then we went back to that Speaker, and then that's where everybody met us. JT was there, Adam.
Oh, man, me and Adam, shout out to Adam.
And then, we just watched Calvin Harris just straight up murder.
We murdered.
Dancing our nights, So, Saturday was dope. And then, so who was your favorite set from Saturday? Who was your favorite set Friday? Who was your favorite set Saturday?
My favorite set on Friday, man. Favorite set, honestly, just because of the energy and like the performance, man. It had to be Bad Bunny, man. He killed it. I lost it with Booker T, man.
Can you take it?
Can you take it, sucker? I was like,
and then we looked at each other like, what?
Yeah, I was like,
he's better bring that phone to a spinneroonie, man. He even said, he's like, I'm about to just spin Rooney right now. He brings him out. I'm like,
dude, I was like, man, if this man brings out Booker T, I'm gonna lose my shit. But Bad Bunny was my favorite set Friday. Saturday, man, that's a hard one, man, because I loved
Calvin Harris.
I loved Calvin Harris, and I also loved Eric Prydz, but I'm gonna have to say, just in terms of just energy, man, I have to say Eric Prydz. I love Calvin Harris, but honestly, Eric Prydz blew me away.
We were in the front. Dude. When you're in the front, you're in there,
Dude, and then the show, man, just seeing the whole lights and just the people that we're mixing it with, man, it was just awesome.
Calvin uses a USB, not impressive.
Yeah, Calvin Harris, he kills. Every song is super popular, but also every song's a hit. Yeah. It's just not fair. He just got hit after hit.
He was better weekend one.
Yeah, I had more fun. Well, I was already super tired because
for Calvin Harris, you wouldn't say he was better weekend one?
Yeah. Well, it was also the premiere and the energy. I don't know. It's hard to say which one's better, but I had more fun weekend one at least. There's some people might have the more weekend two.
Before we get to Sunday, can we ask a question?
Yes. Before we go Sunday, yeah.
Why didn't Coachella sell out?
Well, it didn't sell out weekend two because of the whole I think they just oversell in order to get as many people show up.
Trying to get out of basically the stock, trying to get rid of the excess stock that they have.
So they ran out of bracelets, so it didn't sell out on the website, but they literally ran out of bracelets. So I don't know. That's something that
I just think it kind of benefits them to have as many people as possible.
As many people. That's an extra person posting content, an extra person buying lemonades, an extra person buying drinks, and weekend one sold out and weekend two didn't, but there was way more people weekend two.
Bro, it was an influx, man.
I got footage of what it's like to walk in on Friday, fucking empty, just green, nothing on weekend one. Weekend two from the get-go was fucking...
It was just full.
How Sunday was on weekend one, that's how I felt on Friday.
Really?
Weekend two. Super packed.
Wow.
The fucking Coachella cough, bro. I've been in pain the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Any more questions before we go into Sunday?
She also said, the same guy, Fernando Garcia, is Coachella slowly dying?
No.
Fuck no,
No.
bro. It's even getting better.
It's getting better and better, bro. The fact that like Coachella was even recognized by Fortnite, bro. Fortnite of all video games, bro. Like Alfredo like had even
And
mentioned
someone had a good observation there. Like Coachella, was it Ricardo? I don't know who the fuck it was. So somebody told me they're like Coachella just missed out on the AI movement, like because it just happened, the AI shit the last like few months. So like imagine they're gonna do something with AI next year for sure, like some kind of AI experience. They did the NFTs last year. They had an NFT experience when that was trending,
and then FTX
and then FTX happened. That shit. I wonder. There was people that paid 100 or like 200,000 for VIP passes for life or some shit. Are they still able to claim that? Like I want to know.
Coachella, we need answers. We need answers.
That's crazy because FTX just went default, you know. So yeah, I ended up. I had a couple. I didn't have any expensive ones, but fucking, I lost them. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, she's whack.
Someone else said, "Tell of Us was sick. Real producers and DJs."
Dude, the visuals are insane for Tell of Us. I watched them weekend one. I ran into.
I wish I would have seen them.
Then yeah. What's other questions?
That's how you go for now.
Okay, so yeah, so Sunday. I suck Sunday because I didn't get in there till 6. Oh, but you had a fun Sunday.
Yeah.
Because that was actually your birthday.
Yeah.
Your birthday was on Saturday. Technically, when we were watching Bad Bunny in front of us and shit, it was actually your birthday. It had just turned your birthday, bro.
It had just turned my birthday.
That's crazy. Your first hour of your birthday, you saw Bad Bunny.
Smelled
Bad Bunny.
I smelled Bad Bunny. I had him look at the camera, my camera, Bad Bunny. Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was a crazy.
So Sunday, you ended up. So what happened Sunday?
Sunday, I got there a little bit late. I got there around like 7. So I didn't really. Honestly, just because like around that time, I didn't really know a lot of artists that I wanted to see. Obviously,
what was the real reason?
The real what?
Why was the reason you showed up late?
Oh, so the reason why I showed up late was because I got tickets for my birthday to go see a Firebirds game. So prior going to the festival, I actually got to see my first ever Firebirds hockey game. And
it was a playoff game too.
Yeah, it was a playoff game. It was against the Tucson Roadrunners. Blew them out the water. It was like 5-1, but it was a good show. Honestly, like first time ever seeing like live hockey. It was super cold, but like man, like the whole stadium. Like I love the experience. It was just like a high, emotionally intense like game. Oh, and then shout out to Amir, compa, Tio Amir. He was ironically, man, he was like on the jumbotron for like the flex your muscles like cam, and he was doing like Hulk Hogan. He was like, yeah, yeah, brother, yeah. I sent him a little message for that. I tried meeting up with him, but I just couldn't find his seat. But yeah, it was super cool, like seeing that. I also saw Tom and Heather, Tom Buck.
Yeah.
They were like actually like one of the contestants like during like those little games that they do.
That's so sick.
Yeah, they were there at that same game. I saw a lot of people actually that I recognized.
Yeah, that's what's cool about the Acrisure Arena.
And so that's why. And then after the game ended, so the game happened around 3. Literally like got to Coachella like around 7 with all the traffic and going from Acrisure to the polo fields, getting parking. I got dropped off. But for the most part, that's why I got there around 7. Once I got there, I believe Willow was playing at the Mojave with, I believe she brought out Jaden Smith, right?
Yeah.
But at that time, I was just like trying to like just chill out, just getting some food, getting, just content. So I didn't really like see anybody. I was just around. I just remember passing Willow at the Mojave. And then after that, it was just like me just going to the, we linked up that day, just like.
Yeah, we went to Despacio because we hadn't checked it out. We checked out Despacio for a little bit. That's where we ran to the girl from Australia.
Yeah.
Then we went to the Do Lab because checked it out. I don't even know who was playing.
Jolie and Asia or Asia?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something like that.
Yeah, so we went to Do Lab and then from there.
Bro.
Oh, that's when we were like, I told you, Ego, you should go watch Chris Lake because I know
Chris
you fucking love it. And I was too tired, so I was kind of watching from the back. So
Chris Lake happened before we went to the Do Lab. Actually, we actually because that was like around like 4 That was around like 8:35. Yeah. So you told me to go watch Chris Lake at the outdoor theater.
You get to watch him?
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. He was
Fisher and Chris Lake.
had a little bit of a blast, but then like we met up again, and then that's when we went to the Dude Lab, like around like I was there for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes, and then we met at the Dude Lab, and bro, I always have fun at the Dude Lab, bro. Like that's like my go-to tent, bro. That's my go-to tent.
There's people that stay there for 12 hours too, bro.
I believe it, man.
There's people that stay there 12 hours. There's people that stay at the Yuma 12. They don't care about Bad Bunny. They don't care about anybody headlining. They're like, I'm in my club right now.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just some glow sticks, man, and that's all you
These
need.
people go hard, bro. Those people, salute to those people that just say. Salute to Alfredo.
Yeah.
And then,
And then,
Alfredo, I need to have that for the podcast,
bro.
I need to talk to him. I know. So I'll hit up Alfredo later. But anyway, so yeah, so we ended up, and then we were trying to meet up for Blink 182.
Bro, we got lost. We got lost, man, because not only was like that was when we like lost each other because like I was doing like the interviews and stuff like that with the camera. You gave me the camera, and then like you went to VIP. But bro, I went to go see Blink 182, and I kid you not, bro, there was an influx of people.
It was
so packed, bro. So packed to the point where it's like, bro, I don't know if you're ever gonna. I don't know if you're alive. I don't know if you're here, bro. I'm like, bro, I just know I gotta record this, bro, because I think out of all the performers, even Bad Bunny, bro, like there were so many people like for Blink 182. It was just crazy, man. For where we were at the sound at B3, right?
B3.
At B3, dude, like it was crazy. The crowd was wild. I couldn't even move, bro. Like it was that crazy, and I had gotten like the best shots like that I've recorded ever, bro, because people were jamming out so much that there was even one guy crowd surfing in the crowd, man. I was like, yo, this is sick. And I showed them afterwards, man. They were like geeking out, like, bro, this is so sick, man. Like, dude, and
they were surfer dudes or what?
Yeah, dude, they're like from Long, like somewhere from San Diego and like Long Beach and stuff like that. It was super cool. They're like a tight knit of friends, but it was just cool, like seeing all that experience, like that whole show, man, and just like seeing the whole crowd. Did you know
Blink 182 music?
Yeah, bro, come on.
In the car, I just can't wait.
I
ran into the homie Miguel and Christopher Doe, you know, the Razor J. They play with like that group, and I was with them for the beginning of Blink 182, but I was already maxed out. Like
you're just tired.
I had walked like 10 miles. Huh? That was day 6. I had walked another 10 miles. And then I have a face mask because you had my bag. And you had all my shit. My phone was going to die. I was like at 1%. So I was like, I'm going to go chill in the beer garden. And I ran into some people there. And then like I just sat down for a little bit. Got to see the ending. Then I went to the Yuma because the dust was killing me, bro. Before Skrillex started, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And I kicked it in the Yuma for a little bit. Then I ran to more people right there, and then for Blink 182, I was mostly in the beer garden.
Yeah,
I was just trying to survive at that point. For Skrillex, I was watching it from there, and then I went a little bit into the crowd. Then I ran into Miguel again, like just passing by. I was like, what the fuck? And then I ran into Liz Castles and Bass Moves. They were watching like the ending.
That's
like,
cool.
All that shit. And the show was just insane. And then like once it ended, I texted you, JT. I texted like 4 or 5 people before I was at 1%. I texted you guys, hey, Ferris wheel, Indio sign after.
Yeah.
And I was like, hopefully these 2 people got the message because I'm not gonna be able to find
bro,
them.
honestly, I did not.
And I got dropped off.
Bro.
Oliver too. I couldn't find Oliver all
bro,
weekend.
My phone died. So when you sent that message, I did not see it because once I got to Blink 182, bro, my phone died. So I was just like, based off my intuition from like the prior spots that we were meeting, like from both days, I was like, worst case scenario, we don't see each other all night. We're gonna meet at the Ferris wheel like we always did before. So always make sure, if you guys, when in doubt, you guys, like if you guys ever go, when in doubt, plan it out and have a meetup spot at the end of the day if you guys will ever go with friends. So that's what we did. But honestly, man, I did not get your text message at all because once Blink 182 started, my phone died. So I was just like, fuck it. It's all or nothing right here. It's all me. I have the camera. It's all, if something happens to the camera, it's my ass. So like I was just there, just having a good time, man. But once Skrillex started, man,
Did you enjoy that show?
Bro, I enjoyed the hell out of that show, man. I've never been in part of. I've never been a part of so many dance circles, bro. I think I was like part of 7. It was that. No, bro. Like
Partying with everybody.
bro. I got like so many glow sticks that they had like on the ground. Like people like weren't grabbing them for some reason, and I was like, well, we can't have them go to waste. You know what I mean? So I was just like, bro, I was just jamming out to the music, and I was like Terry Crews from like White Chicks, you know, like when he's in the club, you know what I mean, like doing his thing. I was like doing like Mickey Mouse drawings and stuff like that from, yeah, man. I was like giving people a show, man, and I just remember like flashing lights, like people were recording me. So maybe I was like part of people's stories or something like that. I don't know, but like I was just part of like so many dance like. But man, I just remember like the light, dude, like when the lasers came on, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. It was just cool.
Party in the USA.
Yeah, man.
That's my favorite
I
moment.
like that they're calling them that now.
What?
OMG TVA.
Oh,
The
yeah.
lineup, it was TVAs, and I was like, OMG TVA.
Oh yeah, I was like, there's like people like, there's this one girl like with the sign OMG TV. I was like, what? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's them.
Yeah. It was because they got.
Like the theme.
So I was wondering, I don't know how Golden Voice did it, but like as soon as Frank Ocean wasn't gonna play, do you think their DMs were just like boom, like?
I'm pretty sure, man, because like I mean,
or did they reach out to certain artists? But also, it has to be somebody. I feel like they always have a backup.
yeah,
actually.
I mean,
they have to have a backup.
They have to, man. I mean, they have to be organized on top of their shit, and just because
like
like
who wants to
they're-
close out the biggest festival of the year? Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's sick. That within like 5 or 4 days, these was just pulled.
You
up
think
and
you think they'll ever like make them come back and perform?
them?
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean come back to Coachella? I want to say never, but it's gonna be at least 5 years.
I think it tainted it, like his reputation with Golden Voice. Just the fact that like one, he made him cancel like doing this like stage that took like this ice rink, and then all of a sudden like
it's just unprofessional.
it just made a bad taste.
Because
of-
even if you get hurt, like, so that's a bad excuse. Because Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, he performed in Coachella 2016 with a broken leg. And he was just sitting down the whole time, just singing, and that's what people wanted. Like, we don't care if this was in a wheelchair, just fucking sing to us. Like,
Yeah.
you never perform. Who cares if the ice skaters could have been skating and Frank Ocean just performing? That would have been sick as fuck.
right.
Something, bro. Like, but he didn't even do anything. And it's like the fans that were there 12 hours. Imagine you camp out for 12 hours and you're not watching Metro Boomin, and you're not watching all these artists because you want to see Frank Ocean. So you sacrifice not watching all these because you're camping out the whole day,
Yeah.
and he don't show up.
He
like,
don't show up.
and he don't perform. So that's what sucks, you know. For the people, you know, that wasn't there just for Frank Ocean, I think the whole weekend was just so badass, bro.
Yeah.
So how was your? Now that we talked about what you watched, how was the whole overall Coachella experience for you your first time?
Man, the first time, man.
Are you gonna go next year?
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. I can't wait to see who they bring out next year. Honestly, man, I'm hyped. I know this time I made my fair share of mistakes. My mistakes that I made this year was, one, I didn't come prepared enough with like a phone charger. Like I brought a battery bank, but I didn't bring the cable one day, and my phone constantly was dying on me. And I was like, man, like it was just hard to get like in touch with people at times. Two, was kind of like not exploring enough enough tents, because I was just like listening to the same genre of music like over and over. Obviously, like the whole tech house and house music tents, like that's what I was gravitating towards. Those were like the two biggest mistakes. Obviously, like the whole parking situation, like knowing where I parked, and I wish I would have gone a little bit earlier too, just to kind of like enjoy the festival more instead of just like partying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously,
No,
I
go party.
I had a good time, but like I wish I would have like, you know, explored around more and got to know like the festival, like some of the other tents, not just be at the Sahara or the main stage or outdoor theater or the Yuma and the Dulab. Like I wish I would have explored more. Like,
well, you watched one in the
Mojave.
Gobi too. You watched kind of almost
Almost all of them, but like I
Yeah.
wish I would have also like explored the little
Yeah.
subsections that they had too, because
Yeah.
I know that they had like a party in my living room kind of thing by the Yuma. They had like some American Express or like the Adidas store.
My living room thing was cool.
Yeah,
It looked cool. It looked
was
cool.
A vibe in there, yeah.
But yeah, like I wish I would like just explored a little bit more. Things like that would have been just a little bit more organized. But overall, it was not too bad for my first Coachella experience. Didn't make too many mistakes. I'm glad I was hydrated. So I did watch your videos about being hydrated with the Camel Pack. I remember going to like Yellow Mart and like buying like one of the last Camel Packs. The lady had told me like, yeah, we had like an inventory of 20 and like you're literally buying like the second to last one. Like, yeah. And then when I bought mine, I had just like, as soon as like she had bagged it up, there was a guy in line behind me with the last Camel Pack, bro.
Dang.
So literally, bro, I was like, man, I'm glad I bought the Camel Pack because that literally saved my ass. On top of that, I also like, as I was like refilling my water, I was like implementing like all these electrolytes into the water, just because like the water there, it's not the most best tasting water there. It is filtered water, so I just added it there to like be extra hydrated. And with all my crazy partying moves and all this stuff and all the walking and the heat, I had to be hydrated no matter what. But overall, man, this was a great experience, man. I had a great time being a local and kind of going, and like obviously like I've heard like all the fuzz about Coachella, like yeah it's cool, but to actually experience it and for me to just like witness like the actual like how fun it is and how cool everybody is, because apart from just the music and having a good time, man, I think what I really got out of it, aside from just again the partying and also creating content off of it, was the people, the amount of connections that I made there. Everybody there, like it's easy to make friends there because everybody there is
for the same reason.
Is there for the same reason, and everybody is
everyone was so friendly.
Everyone's so friendly,
and everybody is like there to have a good time, and they're willing to connect and bond with you. Like nobody's there like with the guard up. I mean, obviously like you'll have occasionally like your bad apples and your frat people and stuff like that, but for the large part, everybody's just there to have a good time, express themselves, and as long as you're you're a respectful human being, like they'll connect with you and treat you like a good person. And
was this your first music festival?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it is.
Oh, sick, bro.
I mean, apart from Desert Underground, at such a big scale, yeah.
Shout out Desert Underground.
Yeah, shout out to.
I'm doing my next show May 13th. So if you're watching this, you want to come to my mini festival that we're starting. So Desert Underground, we have it's gonna be a lot of hip hop. There'll be some DJs and maybe another genre. We're still finishing the lineup. We're gonna probably drop at the end of this week. So May 13th, Desert Underground, right here in Coachella. So city of Coachella. So anyway, thank you, Brian, for coming on the podcast. Thank you for.
We still got comments.
Oh shit! Yeah,
we still got comments.
Oh shit! My bad. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I know.
All right, before we take off, we'll answer.
People's comments.
Okay, so first of all, 2024 early predictions.
Ooh,
oh,
already?
Christopher Timothy Williams said Dua Lipa, Rage Against the Machine, and Travis Scott.
That is a sick one.
That's a sick one.
Well, yeah. So my predictions were Travis Scott and Rage Against the Machine, because in Coachella 2020, I don't even know I left the poster, but it's in the door. Coachella 2020 was Frank Ocean, Travis Scott, and Rage Against the Machine. Okay. And Calvin Harris was in it, and a bunch of artists. Right. And some of those got played in 2022. Some of them played in 2023. So there's artists that were on the original lineup that haven't came back. So I think Travis Scott, Coachella's been wanting him to headline, but it's been he had the tragedy with the Astro World and stuff. So yeah, so I think Travis Scott for sure. Rage Against the Machine. It's another election year. They fucking always perform in an election year for some reason, and they're gonna be badass. And then the third artist, because I was thinking Rihanna, but then it's like I feel like they need more of an international artist. Dua Lipa makes a lot of sense. She had a concert in Brazil with like 200,000 people were watching her, bro. Like, what the fuck? So Dua Lipa will be sick. Rihanna will be sick. She's never performed at Coachella, bro.
Yeah, and she performed at the Super Bowl.
Pregnant. Yeah, like
literally
pregnant.
Before she.
So she'll have a kid and hopefully gets ready for next Coachella, and then drops the album that she's been like not dropping for like 10 years. And then Travis Scott too. He hasn't dropped Utopia. He's been teasing it for years. So, or even Drake. If we get Drake back, that should be bad. Drake last time he came was 9 years ago, bro. Like, how many hits has he dropped in the last 9 years? This dude would fucking be badass. Yeah. So those are like my predictions. I know for sure as an undercard, Fuerza Regida, Peso Pluma, Odessa. Odessa had a a tour last year, and they did a few festivals, but they never went to Coachella. And Coachella had their music playing at the Arctic Dome last year, which didn't come to Coachella this year. So I think Odessa will be at Coachella next year. Damn, who else? I hope Miley Cyrus one day. I would love to see her. Her
Really?
voice is fucking bad, bro. Like
Igor says he wants Rihanna, but she scares me like Frank Ocean.
no, Rihanna's
Nah.
a beast, bro. Frank Ocean would have never done the Super Bowl, and she killed it while being pregnant. You know.
She dropped her kid before she dropped the album.
Someone else said, "Who do you want or predict for the returning to the desert slot?"
Oh, man.
Tiesto.
I know
Tiesto.
I know that they retired, but I'm hoping Daft Punk they make some sort of reunion at Coachella just because
This fool, that's everybody's prediction every year.
look
Daft Punk needs to come
they
back.
need if they come back they need it needs to happen at Coachella. I do not see it happening at MGM Grand. I do not see
It has to be.
It has to be
A
Coachella.
giant pyramid in the middle of the field type shit.
Dead Mouse too.
Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse would
Well,
be
Dead
good.
Mouse did a test pilot, no? This year. He performed this year
Yeah?
at the Yuma.
What about Muse? Someone said.
Oh, I would love to see Muse, bro. Man, that's like one of my favorite bands. And actually, they're performing this year in like September.
I would like to see the Strokes again. I would like
Strokes.
to see the Strokes just because
Yeah.
Julian Casablancas,
Casablancas.
yeah, his voice is
Yeah, that was cool.
Miguel said Cardi would be cool.
Cardi B.
No, Cardi, like Playboy Cardi.
Oh, Playboy Cardi.
uh,
Cardi B.
I don't
Cardi
know.
B be hard too. What the fuck? Nicki Minaj be hard. Yeah, Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi would be hard. I think that some of those are coming to Sahara next year. I think it'll be more hip hop next year. I don't know. I don't know what the lineup's gonna look like. It depends on like who's like trending. So I think Lil Nas X is coming next year.
I could see that happening.
So he was in the 2020 lineup and he didn't come
He
back.
never
Jack Harlow,
I could see
he
him.
dropped an album last year and he's dropping some new music. I think Jack Harlow will probably come back. I would like to see Post Malone headline. Post Malone is so
You think the Strokes will come back?
yeah.
I feel like they would.
They would They're performing at that festival I told you about in Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City. Salt Lake
Someone else
City.
asked about the secret bars. How can people find them? At the
Shit.
Secret bars.
So there was 2 secret bars. I saw one that was by the food court, the Indian food court,
Marketplace.
Indian Marketplace, and there was one by the Sahara, no? Or was it at
Like where all those eateries are by the
the Spectrum? Yeah, there was 2. I didn't go inside any of them. Like again, I went 2 weekends. I didn't even explore enough, bro. I just love the music. So,
So how can people find them?
to be honest, Reddit and TikTok, bro. Reddit has Coachella Reddit views are not on it. Like they got all the
I
information.
think if you see a line somewhere that looks out of place, that's how you know.
Just be like, hey, what's this line for? You know, then people
Yeah.
will tell you. Or like after Coachella one day. Also employees.
Yeah.
There's some like people that work it, they kind of know like where some shit's going on. So
Just be friendly with the employees.
be friends with the employees.
That's what you learn.
And actually, I got so much free water from security guards because like I talked to them like they're just people. We were like, oh, how you enjoy the festival? Like, is this your first time being here? Have you worked it before? And I just talked to them because people just like walk past them, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're just normal people
They're
too.
just
So I'll just ask them, and then they give you a water. I always finesse my way to get some waters and shit. So shout out
Save that
to-
money, bro. Save that money.
Someone said, for sure, I think Fuerza Regida or Peso Pluma could come next year. Maybe Junior H.
Oh, I love Junior H too. Yeah, that's just because like that's the genre I listen to the most is Mexican music. As far as like EDM, I don't even know, bro. I don't know. I don't follow EDM like that closely to know. I just know Odessa because Odessa headlined the San Diego Crossroads or whatever it's called recently, and then they're also performing I think in Vegas. But yeah, and Odessa's coming to Acrisure in September. I already got a ticket.
Grupo Frontera next year.
Grupo Frontera.
I mean, they already performed this year, so honestly, I wouldn't doubt it.
Who else?
And then
Raul Alejandro too. Raul Alejandro hasn't came to Coachella, and he came out as a guest performer during Rosalia Weekend 1, which is one of my favorite sets too. Rosalia Weekend 1. Rosalia. Fuck, bro. No,
Post
besamos para solo
Malone and Lil
homies.
Nas X are playing Bottle Rock in Napa in May. So
Ooh.
probably not then.
But this May.
Oh, this May.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not next May. Next man, we don't know. But yeah, so I think Lil Nas, them, Olivia Rodrigo, like she blew up on TikTok. She hasn't came. Eddie Zuko's coming to Coachella next year for sure. And
I could see that.
He's doing nothing but Golden Voice venues right now.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a good way. So if you look at what venues are owned by the company AEG, that's the company that owns Golden Voice. So they have clubs in LA and all over the United States and the world. So wherever those artists are playing, that's where they scout the artists that are coming to Coachella. So actually see who's there been booking and who has like sold out shows, and that's. So Eddie Zuko, I think, will be at Coachella. He could be like a maybe 4 or 5 p.m.
Right.
guy. That'd be sick.
Probably I could see him.
Sonora stage.
I say either Sonora or Gobi.
Yeah, a Gobi, that'd be sick. It's because it's kind of like reggae.
Right now.
He's blowing up fast, and it'd be cool to see him there. I think he'll be here. Shit, I don't know.
Someone asked
One of the
more
locals.
details on Desert Underground.
And
Instagram, something.
so Desert Underground, there's a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, I'm almost at 700 subscribers, and I need to get to 1,000 so I could monetize. So I'm broke right now. But Desert Underground is I started this festival last year, inspired by Coachella. Like I was at Coachella watching Nathaniel Cano, and the whole time I'm like, fuck, bro, like we could do this shit. Like, why can't we do this here locally with local artists?
Right.
I've been interviewing local artists over the last 3 years on my podcast. And, like, I don't interview people and be like, oh, shit, this dude has a lot of followers or he's blowing up. Like, I interview people, they're just starting their careers. And, like, everyone kept saying, like, oh, yeah, the venues don't book us. Like, there's no venues out here to perform. How can we get better? How can we do this? And then I was watching Coachella, and then like, all this in my head, I was like, fuck, like, if you put a 6 stage, good production, and you market it with, like, good marketing and not do boring flyers like people do. People will do a flyer, and that's it. You don't know who the artists are. You know what they sound like. Like, my goal is, like, nah, we do a show. We're going to have a 6 stage, 6 production. We're going to record with multiple cameras, drone shots, pictures.
We're going
to create content. Like
go
the
out of our
shit.
way to.
So I'm not reinventing the wheel. We're literally the same shit that Coachella does, but like on a smaller scale. Featuring local artists who want to one day hopefully perform in big stages.
And it's by locals, for locals, and for everybody to enjoy, because everything that we do, like that we've been doing, what is this, like our 7th?
It's the 8th. So the 8th Desert Underground is coming this May 13th. Right. And you can find it on YouTube. So Desert Underground, I usually post the performance videos there. And then on Instagram, Desert Underground X, because Desert Underground was taken. So Desert Underground X on Instagram. I usually post some of the highlights of the performances that we've been dropping. And I have a lot of content there too coming. I have like behind the scenes. We have a lot of footage. I have like 1 terabyte of just Desert Underground videos and pictures that people have never seen. Like it's... Yeah. People are like, fuck, you're posting a lot of content. I'm like, bro, I post like 5%
just
of what I have on my hard drive.
Man, just a fraction.
There's literally no time, but we're getting there to distribute. And so the goal of Desert Underground is not only to give local artists a good performance, like in front of 200-300 people. One show we had like 500 people. People get to see you live, and then we'll record the videos, post them. So when a festival like Coachella or a smaller festival or a nightclub in LA or something, when they're looking for artists to book, you actually have YouTube videos. You actually have performance videos. You actually have good videos and pictures on your Instagram. Like, we're giving them that high quality because no one else is going to do it. And it's like, these artists don't do it themselves because they're focused on making good music.
They don't focus on the content.
They don't know about social media. They don't do the research. And, that's the shit that we do. So it's been like a whole thing together. So yeah, Desert Underground is my festival that I'm starting. Hopefully in the future. Like, I do want to make it bigger. Right now we're starting with locals, and one day we'll see where it goes. But like one step at a time.
So if you guys are watching this, and if you're an artist, you're a supporter of this channel, a supporter of Angel, feel free to reach out. Even if it's to come to the show, you want to perform, reach out to Angel, come to our show, introduce yourselves. Even if you're a photographer, you're a media creator, come to the show. Everybody, just if you're a dog, you're a cat, you're out of this world, come to the show.
Suki's welcome too.
Yeah, she's welcome to the show. She's a little
she's
a little Coachella'd out. But come to the show.
Yeah, so our shows are super cool, and they're all ages, just super cool. Yeah, we came out on like some. I did a documentary of the first one. We went to film festival last year. We were in the cover of the newspaper for the Desert Underground. It's been a lot of support from the community, And then again, we're just doing it literally because no one else is doing this with local artists. No one takes them serious, you know. And like, why not do a badass performance by local artists? But anyway, we actually have 2 artists from Santa Ana coming, 2 artists from Joshua Tree coming, and
That's
then the rest
exciting.
are local. So now we're starting to branch out. We've had people from LA drive to our freaking Tez Underground shows, and I think that's super cool.
LA, Arizona.
Oh yeah, someone from Arizona came to our show. Like, it's crazy. And to be honest, I haven't promoted it because I don't want to make it too big yet. Like, I can't have that many people
Imagine if you
actually.
did promote.
I know. If I actually promoted a show, I feel like we could get a lot of people.
It's just a matter of just like
it's a matter of time. So yeah,
matter of
so that's
time, logistics, management.
that's
you
kind
know.
of like my
planning.
my own festival that I've been starting. So we haven't even reached a year. You know, we've had 7 shows and thousands of people already at these shows. So May 13th. See you at the next Disney.
Someone else says sponsors needed! Exclamation point.
Oh yeah, we definitely need sponsors. So if you guys want to sponsor our show, we'll get you a lot of reach, and you'll be supporting a good cause. So
Donations,
yeah,
sponsors,
anything, you know, right
crypto.
now. Whatever, bro. You guys need some tax write-offs. You got to pay so much taxes. We got you, bro. Send us help us Des Underground. You know, hit up your tax guy. So anyway, thank you guys for watching.
The Jabberwockies from Coachella.
Hey, they haven't had dance crews. What about those ABC American Best Dance Crews? We need to go watch and see who's.
They never had like a dance crew, huh? Like a,
No.
Well, it's because performers have dance crews.
yeah, that's true.
I don't
And
know.
then they also asked, Miguel asked, do you think they'll lean more hip hop / rap, house music, and Latin music next year?
I could see that. I think so.
Someone said, I think so since they leaned so EDM this year.
Yeah, this year was so EDM because of the headliners. So what I think is by having Bad Bunny, which unless you're Latino and stuff, people don't really like that music. Then you had Blackpink, who are like a younger audience. So
Yeah.
like, you know, a 40-year-old,
They can't relate to that.
they can't relate to that's like, what the fuck, who's that? And then the other headline, Frank Ocean. It's also, that one's more general appeal, but also he doesn't have enough music where people know him like that. Like his fan base and like the hip hop community, they know the music, but like, you know, again, a 40-50-year-old that kind of missed the come up with Frank Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Do they really care about his music? So it's like, oh shit, these 3 headliners are kind of obscure. Let's make sure the undercard gets all the Europeans to make it their trip worth it. So they added, you know, Calvin Harris and Chris Lake and Test Pilot and, you know, Alice in Wonderland. So like, I feel like they leaned a lot of DDM because the headliners were so like world obscure artists. So
Do you want more hip hop next year?
if next year, let's say the headliner is Travis Scott, then you already have a hip hop headliner, and then you get maybe another Latino like Dua Lipa headlining. That's already gets a Latino audience, and then you get, I don't know who else, and you're gonna get that returning to the desert EDM set because now they're doing that like back to back times. Last time was at Swedish House, then it's Calvin, so maybe Tiesto, Steve Aoki, or I don't know, somebody big like that.
And
So
then they said, I think EDM and rock will make a big comeback next year. Coachella will get back to its roots.
it's the music scene in general is more rock now. Well, last year we had emo night, and I think that's cool because emo night, there were just these DJs who do these shows in LA where they literally play rock music,
Right.
like shit they
Emo
grew up
night,
on.
Brian?
Huh?
Have you heard of emo night?
Yeah.
So emo night, they brought out Papa Roach,
Papa Roach.
and then they brought out Plain White Tees to sing "Hey There, Delilah."
Yeah.
So they did that last year at the Sahara, so that's why they added Blink-182 this year, and because of Frank Ocean, they were able to push them to almost be a headliner. So now it's like, what other like legendary 2000s band? Like, I don't know how they're doing because it's a touchy subject. But what if there's like a reunion of like Linkin Park? I know one of the
Wow.
members passed away, but
Yeah.
like that would be like a Linkin Park moment type shit. Or
They
like
could make it happen, man. I mean,
Green Day. Green Day's never. I don't think Green Day's ever played Coachella.
Green Day. I don't think they've had.
Green Day will be bad, bro.
Green Day. I could see Green Day playing them for sure. But honestly, if they were, my thing is, if they were able to pull off that hologram for Tupac, I'm pretty sure this is bold. This is bold. But I'm saying like if they manage to do something with Linkin Park,
Chester. That's too soon, bro.
I'm pretty.
I don't know.
I'm pretty. Nah, man. It's almost been like almost 10 years since his passing, man. I think if they're gonna be able to do it,
I don't know when he passed, but
they're gonna want to like have him like have his presence, some sort of presence with him.
what other bands would come? So,
Probably like some classic.
My Chemical Romance, bro. My Chemical Romance headlining Coachella, bro. That'd be sick, bro. At least being in the lineup, something like that, or the Strokes.
I could see the Strokes, man. The Strokes for sure.
Muse, I guess.
Wait
Muse.
for Avril Lavigne.
Wow.
You come back.
Way back.
Paramore.
Paramore. The lead singer played last year with Billie Eilish. She came out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of I think there'll be like a rock legend like Blink-182 coming back,
Or 30 Seconds to Mars.
oh, I would love 30 Seconds to Mars
With Jared Leto, man.
I fucking love that band too. I've never seen them live. That's the band I've never seen. live.
I would kill to see that. I would kill to see
Kings
them.
and Queens is my first song. We are the kings.
Next
I used to do edits of Call of Duty videos with that.
American Idiot 20-year anniversary.
Oh shit! I'm telling you, bro. Green Day early prediction. Green Day's coming to Coachella next year. You heard it here first. I don't know. I don't know what other artists will come.
That's it for all the questions.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys go check out That's Underground. Make sure you guys tune in to more recaps. So I'll be doing a series of videos like this. Like interviewing people who went to Coachella either for the first time, second time, third time. I'm gonna interview my cousin who's been to Coachella since 1999. Like, she's an OG. So I can't wait to do that episode with her. And thank you guys for the support. And I'll see you guys at Coachella.
You want to plug in your Instagram or anything?
Brian B. Film.
Brian B. Filming. You can check me out at Brian B. Filming. You can also follow my media production company at Mainline. Follow Desert Underground X. That's pretty much it. See you guys to Coachella next year.